idea of Abaddon came up, I called up my buddy Marshall, great, amazing writer. And I had an idea for a Western that I wanted to run by him and see if, what he thought, if this is something we could like talk more about or not.
I'm not a fan of Westerns necessarily. So when he approached me...
And I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
He said, I had an idea for a Western. And I'm like, I'm not into Westerns. Also, Westerns aren't popular right now. Of course, at the time they weren't. But since then...
but they were starting. Yeah.
They've blown way up.
Yeah.
So he approached me about this idea about a gunslinger. About a man so bad, a man who leaves so much violence and death and destruction in his wake that the devil approaches him to make a deal for his soul. Because the devil has in mind a job for him. Now, he was always destined to be this figure as a child. The devil approaches him and wants to play him for his soul. A game of chance. So Devlin, our hero, does not believe in this.
No, that's none of it. Doesn't believe
it's
in any
complete
of it.
bullshit to him. So he goes, what do I have to lose? So he plays the devil and loses. But of course he walks away from that game thinking that he's business as usual.
Yeah.
It's not. He falls in love with a woman who softens him, who basically shows him the monster that he is.
At that point, he started getting these feelings of guilt for what he's done.
But she ends up getting killed via violence that he caused, that he set in motion years before. And after she dies, he can't live anymore. So he finds a highest tree he can find, and he hangs himself. And he dies, or so he thinks.
What I found really interesting is how he's hanging, right? And there's kids playing, just playing out in the woods. And they come across this body of this man hanging, Devlin, and they can't believe it. They go up to him and they see that he's got this really cool pocket watch, and the kid wants it. And as he's trying to get it, he's climbing up on the branch, and he's trying to get at this watch. He slips, falls, grabs onto Devlin. The rope breaks, and as they hit the ground, it almost breathes life back into Devlin. So was he dead? Was he not dead? That's kind of like for the audience to figure out. Yeah. But that's when the kids bring him into town, which now is King's Cross.
Yeah. Now, King's Cross, it's not your average Western town.
No.
Again, he's in purgatory. He's in sort of the land, the space between life and death, heaven and hell, and the whole deal. Looks like a Western town, but it's sort of it's a steampunk Western town. And the idea is to create someplace sort of magical, sort of otherworldly, that he comes into. And at that moment, he realizes that he's not in Oz, he's not in Kansas anymore, I guess.
No, he's not. In fact, when he's brought into town, the townspeople are there and they see him. They look. They don't know what's going on. The love of his life is there too, but she doesn't know him. He doesn't understand that. He's definitely out of his element. Yeah. He stands out.
The devil, Bob Arryman, the man he played that game with, is the sheriff.
And is expecting him.
Yes, and he's been expecting him all these years.
Yeah.
So Bob sets him up in this new town as the new sheriff. Basically, he's Abaddon. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Abaddon is the devil's sort of hell's hammer. He's the demon that keeps everything in order. He gets the King's Cross, and the devil basically says, I'm out. What Devlin doesn't know is there's an upheaval in hell. There's a mutiny. So he gets put in that position right at the moment when every demon on the fucking planet in that realm is trying to escape. Is trying to get past King's Cross into the next world. So now Devlin has a job that's exacerbated by the fact that the devil's gone. So he, in a sense, is Abaddon and the devil. He's motivated to do that by the fact that he wants to keep this job long enough to figure out how to get him and the woman he loves out of King's Cross.
Right.
At some point.
Now, he was brought into this position by the devil because of his skills, which he has mastered. But this is a whole different beast.
Yeah.
He thinks he could handle it, but when he comes up against this new type of enemy, it's a little bit more than he can handle. He has to get acclimated to this. There's new weapons. Yeah. There's a new way of fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a whole new world that he needs to be geared up for.
Yes.
And he meets a woman that actually owns the bordello.
Yes.
That helps him to kind of get up to speed in this world, which is another cool element of it too.
Yeah. So today a supernatural, sci-fi, steampunk western, and that's the show in a nutshell. That's Abaddon in a nutshell.
No, that's Abaddon.
Yeah.